All right, so we're back with another chapter of Two Blue Vortex. Another chapter, another case of bad writing. I wish the writing would get better, but let's just review this chapter. A lot of paneling issues, and I don't like the paneling still, of course. Characters are bad too. And everything that we expected to happen, happened. So, this is, I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I'm going to kind of go to highlight certain points. So, to no one's surprise, Himawari saves Inojin, right? I finally remembered his name. It was obviously going to happen. Not a surprise at all. So, not only are we not surprised, but apparently some people are trying to make this scene better by comparing how she healing Inojin without knowing it is similar to Naruto healing somebody without knowing it. It's kind of different. Naruto was given this new ability that he instinctively knew how to use. Yes. Okay, so he was intentionally trying to heal these people. He put his hand over a guy with the intentions of healing him. He put his hand over Kakashi with the intentions of healing him. Himawari is just accidentally healing this guy. Okay, she's never even used chakra before. Okay, so that's the problem with it. Now, let me get into the paneling here. I don't like this paneling, these speed lines right here. It's like she's already in his face, but they use speed lines to try to convey speed. She's not really traveling any distance. She already walked up to the guy. So she's already in his face, but they still use speed. And this paneling I do not like. She throws a punch, opens up with a claw fist, and goes into another punch. Now this part goes into the tail beast bomb that we all knew was coming, right? That we all knew will be OP. But look at this paneling, okay? He's flying in and she's charging up the tail beast bomb, which we know about, and he stops right here. That's an awkward pose, I feel like. He just ass thrusting into the camera. I don't know why that's the angle he chose to show him stop at. I guess whatever. It's fine, right? So he's charging up his tail beast bomb. And like I said, she's clashing with his tail beast bomb. That means her tail beast bomb has equal power to his. Equal power, exactly. Okay, it's not just because it's a tail beast bomb too. It's actually equal in strength, power. You can argue that Jorah is not using a full power one here. You know, he's just shooting a little one at her to test the metal, right? But this is a full power tail beast bomb, mind you. And from what I know, there's no holding them back. You make one or you don't. So they clash. Okay. He's saying not only do you have the power, but you can control a Biju bomb. Even giving Nine-Tails power as a prerequisite. He's curious and blah, blah, blah. So they're basically answering for us that she has the power, but she just can't. Well, he also says she can control it too. So she can control the power, and she has it. I guess the problem that's mentioned later is the fact that her power is running out so quick because it's so much, and it's just basically burning out. She's going to get tired and weaker the whole time. The headbutt, by the way, this headbutt, I think is stupid. It's a trash panel. More speed lines, okay? Speed lines all over the place. That's all they do. Now let me get into the bad paneling with Jorah. Remember this panel in the bottom right, okay? This they made note of the claw marks this time. There's 3 claw marks. Jorah is in between the first 2, okay? He's laying there. Konohamaru, Sarada, they're all lined up. All 3 of them are behind Sarada. Sarada's standing in front of them, okay? I'm going to give you an example of why I think the paneling is bad. And I'm sure there's going to be excuses and reasons for it. Like, oh, he did it off screen and this happened. We just didn't see it. But I think this is bad paneling, right? So now they finally start to make note of the claw marks. I complained about it before, saying that with Code. I don't know if you remember the scenes. You can go back. I won't show it here. But his claw marks would randomly appear. We already know he has to physically put them down, but they would pop up when it's convenient, right? So this time they actually drew a scene. Beforehand, they laid a field out for you. We noticed 3 claw marks. He faces into that claw mark, but he's not really that close to it, but that's convenient, right? So he pops out of the front one. We can just assume he was close enough, right? So that's not a big problem there. Okay, 3 claw marks is in between. Now, mind you, remember the positioning of the characters behind Sarada too. Sumire and the other dude on the right of Sarada, which is her left side when facing her. Konohamaru on the left side of her, okay? He's on her left. They're on the right. So he pops back out the claw marks, and they want to show you that his wound is healed. And I'm not going to mention every little specific thing. We all know that he mentions the Sharingan, and yeah, the Rasengan does not work like the Sharingan, if you didn't know. It doesn't see the exact same things. Neither does the Byakugan work like the Rasengan. They're all separate. They're all different. Now, this panel, it's still consistent in this panel. They're all in front. The distance is a little further back, but they're all in front, right? Down here, you see it's still kind of the same position. She looks over to the left to look at Konohamaru. And mind you, for what I'm about to say, she just told Konohamaru that Sarada's the target, right? Boom. So now there's a claw mark behind Sarada. Randomly, might I add. It's randomly. There's a claw mark behind her. When in this scene do you see a claw mark behind her? The furthest one in front is in front of her. Let me zoom in on it. It's in front of her. There's two other ones behind him. He came out of the frontmost one, okay? So, mind you, Konohamaru and them are behind her. So, she didn't step forward, nor did the claw marks all move forward. They're all, look at this. They're all standing, they're all in front of her. There's nothing behind her. Magically, there's a claw mark behind her, right? Boom. But they weren't behind her. She never stepped forward either, okay? Konohamaru's sorry ass should have been able to see this claw mark pop up from behind her because they're all standing back there, but he didn't see it. So it's convenient for him to stick his hand in his pocket and zap Sarada, right? I don't like that. Konohamaru should have been able to see this shit. He's standing there the whole time, okay? So she gets zapped conveniently with the claw mark that pops up magically behind him. And maybe they should explain that the Hidari can make them just pop up wherever he wants. But even if he can, that's really convenient because codes were popping up the same way. Code's claw marks popped up in scenes the same way so he can catch people off guard conveniently. And we knew as a rule his were physically put down. He had to claw his hands into the ground to apply them to the space that they're on. So Konohamaru's sorry ass did not notice this. None of these ninjas standing behind Sarada noticed this. She's literally the best shinobi standing in this scene right now. And Konohamaru's her senior, bro. You know what I'm saying? Konohamaru is really her senior. He couldn't see this shit. You telling me, okay, so they know how the claw marks work, right? Me saying they know how the claw marks work is kind of important to this next scene that I'm going to be showing you. But I think it's really convenient, man, and I'm not tripping on that. I've seen it before in the old, when Code was first introduced. It started getting lazy when he encountered Boruto and Kawaki in the forest, when he was trying to get his limiter unlocked, when he approached Konoha. It started getting real obvious in each scene that I knew that his claw marks would just pop up conveniently. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went even more convenient and made it so Hidari with a Rasengan ability of some sort, some time-space Rasengan to mirror Sasuke's, can make the claw marks just appear wherever he wants. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And this team that's here, let me talk about that for 2 seconds. Why is Sumire and two random ninja here? There's no point in them being here. They can't provide any support to this battle. And Shikamaru, who's supposed to be the Hokage, should know that the threat they're dealing with is a big threat by now. Especially if Sasuke was the one who supposedly is walking into the village. They sense his chakra, he's an enemy by now. They're not going to take chances, and they don't know what they're confused, bro. But look at this. She gets electrocuted from behind, bro. Okay. He zaps her, even though Sumire really just said that, okay? It's quite stupid if you ask me, bro. I don't know how to wrap my head around the fact that these claw marks are popping up. Maybe people are going to say it's just a jutsu, he can do that. But that doesn't explain the scenes where Codes were doing that. That's not Code's ability to make claw marks just pop up. He throws them or puts them down physically in some way, shape, or form. So, random earth style guy just gets shitted on with a fire style jutsu. Apparently Hidari doesn't need to use any hand signs for his fire style. He just gathers the chakra and the fire in his mouth. And look at the mark. Look at the claw mark on the ground, bro. Like how this guy is kind of standing adjacent to it too. And all of a sudden it's kind of back in front of Sarada. Do you see that shit? It's back in front of her. Now you can argue she got zapped, so she fell backwards, but whatever. That's stupid. Sumire is there. Look at the backgrounds of these people. How did Konohamaru end up behind Hidari? Okay, this guy gets burnt alive, which he's probably dead. Sumire is standing behind Sarada now. There's no claw marks near them, because she should get zapped from the same claw mark that Sarada was just standing in front of magically, right? This is a grave error, bro. This is a big mistake. Now, in the same scene on this top left panel, there is no Sarada or Sumire. And you can argue that maybe they're hidden behind Hidari's body. But bruh, come on. They just disappeared from the scene because speed lines take away from the fucking background. He uses speed lines because it's also a lazy way to avoid the background, if you didn't know. But that's what that's for too. And Konohamaru, knowing what the claw marks are for, just lunges over the claw marks with no care. He doesn't care if he's about to get killed. He lunges over the claw marks. And he's not faster than Sarada to react to these things, okay? And Konohamaru pops up from behind him randomly. Now, you can argue he's a ninja, so of course he's going to pop up behind people randomly. I say this is the bad scene, because he couldn't react to Sarada getting zapped, but he's fast enough to get behind Hidari without anybody seeing. No, he's not. He ran forward from wherever he was standing, which magically is now positioned behind Hidari. Even though Hidari never turned around, he's still standing at the same claw mark he came out of, which was in front of Sarada, which was behind Sarada magically too, right? It doesn't make sense. It's going all over the place, right? So Hidari doesn't need hand signs apparently for none of his jutsus. Fire style, I'm not going to limit it there. I'm sure it's for Chidori, or just everything. Chidori, you don't really need a hand sign, right? Just, well, you do. But we know people can do Chidori without the hand signs. Like Konohamaru has a new Rasengan. This new Rasengan that Konohamaru has, now it's lazy as fuck, okay? I didn't even notice it was a Rasengan until I read the subtext again on the side. It says Rasen Barricade. It just looks like a regular wind style jutsu. And he gets knocked out from flying into a pillar. So now he's useless in the scene. They wrote Konohamaru, he doesn't use any summons to fight these guys. He doesn't pick Sarada up and run away with her and summon shadow clones, nothing to fight this guy who's stronger than him, bro. So that gives Hidari the chance to punk off the other ninja and just walk over to Sumire and Sarada. Now he's positioned again in a different spot, right? Now he's over on the left behind them. Now he's behind them, right? Which doesn't make sense. He's behind Sumire and Sarada. You can argue that they turned around or whatever. It doesn't make sense. But he punked this guy off. This bitch ass nigga who was posted outside Naruto's house right here. He got punked off, right? He's useless. I don't know why he's a ninja. He's not doing any jutsu. They need to take his headband away after this day, because that's not some ninja shit, bro. He's supposed to protect the leaf, okay? So Sumire gets knocked out too. But Sarada is not knocked out all the way. I guess you can attribute that to her being strong, okay? Even though the Chidori or the lightning she got hit with shouldn't be any weaker, because these guys are demons. So Jura shoots invisible blast out of his eye. I don't know why it only ripped her shirt, and more fucking speed lines. I know you see it for no reason. More speed lines for no reason. But maybe this blast, I don't know if this was a mistake or this is how they're trying to convey his blast right now, because he's not trying to kill her. He's just testing her regeneration, but we don't even see the ball this time. So he shoots something at her, presumably an invisible or small tail beast bomb, right? So they could at least show the wound, because again, we have an instance of the characters having to tell us the thing instead of it while it's being shown, and it's not even being shown that good, so the dialogue has to support it more. Because if we've seen the actual wound and we've seen her regenerate from something we didn't see most people regenerate, a hole in the gut, right? Most people don't come back from that. If we actually seen the wound, then with him saying, oh, your regeneration's crazy, well, not only would it be evident, but it would actually feel like it's crazy instead of us just having to be told that it's crazy. Because it just feels like her regeneration is crazy because they're telling us that. I haven't really seen any crazy regeneration feats. Yeah, her foot got fucking crushed, but you can argue Naruto's come back from broken bones, blah, 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 whatever, right? So Jura does mention she's getting weak. They got to give us the exposition to let us know that she has power, the potential power. My bad. She has the potential power to rival him, but not yet does she can she fight him? Because she doesn't she can't completely control that power. Kurama even says, yeah, we're totally outmatched. Oh, my bad, he's a bigger monster than I expected. You can't do nothing about it. Fuck it, my bad. Like, yeah, okay, my bad for telling you to go fight this dude, and I was wrong. You're actually gonna fucking die, but it's all right. It's cool. Like, how are they writing Kurama, bro? This is stupid. Okay, so we got Kawaki getting outshined by Boruto again. This is a proper use of speed lines, by the way. All of this right here, proper use of speed lines, completely proper, 100% proper. Now I'm going through the sky, they're cutting the white sky with speed lines, okay? And then you got the front shot perspective. He probably imitated this shit from Dragon Ball, honestly. He probably looked at Dragon Ball flying scenes and completely imitated his panel layouts and speed lines, because I wanted to complain about it earlier, but I forgot. There's been nothing but fucking square panels this whole time. Boruto flying is the first slanted panel. I'm pretty sure they all have been bland square panels conveying little to no motion from each panel to panel. This is the first time not only is he using speed lines properly and right, and they actually look kind of nice, because you see the darker speed lines on this bottom right panel with Kawaki. Those are showing Boruto moving even faster than the fast that Kawaki and Delta are moving at, right? So he's flying even faster than the fast flying people. That's clear. You don't even need to see, or they don't need to mention, like, damn, he just zipped past us, he's way faster than us. Because we see it. Usually they would mention that was Boruto zipped by, damn, he's way faster than us. But they didn't mention that shit. This is a pretty good panel, right? And we even have an angular panel of him closing out of their distance. They can't see him anymore. He's completely leaving now. You know, he's getting further away from their line of sight. Good paneling right there. Even this one, the introduction panel, him flying straight back into the scene, boom, saving Himawari. Now, him saving her could have looked better. It could have been a better pose of him saving her, but this completely conveys the scene. It conveys the scene. I don't like the pose on the left as much. But looking back, I feel like it could have been better or cooler. But yeah, like some good speed lines. Okay, Boruto again saving the day back to back. He saves Himawari, and in a flash, he goes to save Sarada. And you know, I kind of thought something slightly funny, which I could appreciate this thought more if I liked this series, because it would be a good callback. But I kind of thought like Jorah or Hidari, after they get done with this scene, if they ever meet back up and talk about what happened, yeah, I was about to kill her, or I was about to absorb my prey, but all I saw was just something yellow go by. You know, if they mentioned some shit like that, or Hidari mentioned, I just saw yellow zip by real quick, but I realized it was Otsutsuki Boruto. Just a little nod or some shit like that I thought would have been sweet, but I realized, hey, this is Boruto, so any nod like that goes to waste. It's too on the nose, and they do too many nods already, so let's leave it alone now. Now look at this scene. Now, conveniently, again, when they revisit this scene, he magically remember. And by the way, people call this shit a triangle all the time. That's clearly a square or a diamond, bro. One or two. It's 4 sides. Triangles only got 3 people. Let's chill out. So they were saving all the dynamic panels for Boruto. Now you got all these different shaped panels, the parallelograms and shit like that, and different shaped squares. Okay, and look at this scene showing the 4th fucking line on the ground that was not in any of the other scenes. Now Sarada is in between 2 claw marks, like the scene could have properly conveyed in the first place. The 4th claw mark literally pops up right here. You can't make this shit up, bro. You can say it popped up when she stepped on it that first time, but if we're being realistic, bro, I can see that shit myself, man. You can go back and look at it, and there was no claw mark behind her at that time, bro, at all. And then they're even standing in a different position again. Now they're standing in front of all the claw marks. Okay, but yeah, Boruto cuts Hidari's arm off with relative ease. Saves the day. We expected this. This is called Boruto, 2 Blue Vortex. It's about him and Himawari. Okay. Not a really good chapter. I wonder what can happen because of it. Well, will Boruto just return Himawari and Sarada back to the village? Will he take them back to the village and, you know, okay, you guys are safe now? Or will he take them back with him to protect them further? Maybe tell them some more information? I feel like Himawari and Boruto being alone together or away from all the chaos and other people who can tell her stay away from Boruto, he's the killer and all that. When she finally gets like a chance to speak to him with no one else around, I feel like that is when Kurama will start giving that the more exposition about this is actually your brother, this is Naruto's son. He might even manifest himself outside of Himawari, or he could take her body over. I would like to see that more. We didn't see that shit with Boruto and Naruto. When Boruto was growing up, Naruto didn't let Kurama have free will and walk around and play with the kids and shit. But that's a different story. Shit that we want, right? It's a what if. But yeah, he might just give us all this exposition and more exposition. Okay, more exposition. And I don't know where this is gonna go, but this like multiple options, I should say. There's multiple options because Boruto is kind of predictable at this point. So there's a couple options where it can go, and I'm sure whatever they do, we will not be surprised if Boruto does not fight Hidari, or if he does fight Hidari and somehow make Hidari have to run away. Or if he could take Sarada away, Hidari will stop being hostile to everybody else. He won't need to fight everybody else because these people are the antagonists, but they're not quite villains. So when you have characters like that, it can create dynamics like that where the other characters don't have to get killed anymore. Konohamaru's no longer in danger when Sarada's out of commission and Boruto can't fight anymore. And because this guy only focused on Sarada, he's not going to kill people he doesn't need to. Something like that. Or Kawaki finally does pull up because he is arriving at the same time, right? Boruto's so fast. Kawaki would have to change his course of direction and start going towards Sarada now, which he probably doesn't even know to do. He'd have to sense Boruto and follow him, if he can even sense him still, right? It seems like that's like really iffy whenever he can and can't sense Boruto. But Kawaki has to change direction now and go fly towards Sarada and save her because she's in danger. And now we're going to have a situation probably with Boruto and Kawaki fighting side by side against Sasuke and Jorah, or just one of them. Maybe when Kawaki sees Jorah again and they talk more, he'll start to realize this guy might be Ishiki or Jigen. Both of them, it was the same guy. He just took over somebody else's body. He was still Ishiki inside of Jigen's body. He was just going by Jigen, okay? He was still the same actions, his actions making Kawaki the vessel, that was Ishiki the whole time. Okay, so yeah. I'm digressing though. The chapter is alright. Some things, like I said, I like how he's finally found a good use of speed lines after all the terrible uses within the same chapter. He has fucking bad uses of speed lines and then the good uses of speed lines, and it's all over the place. But I think his art is it's gotten better in the sense that he can draw faces. He can draw things more consistently now. The faces are better now. They look more accurate to what they should look like, and they're not as childish. They reflect the ages they have. He's always drawn with a lot of detail, even when his drawings were bad, quote unquote, ugly faces, because that's what made his drawings bad. All the ugly faces and inaccuracy to Naruto, the Naruto that we know. So outside of that, I still think his paneling is not good. He tries to imitate Dragon Ball too much, not just with the feel of the fights, but even down to the paneling and the speed lines and the choreography, like the moves that he has people do. Like they're throwing kicks from across screen and lunging in with punches from afar, and that's everything. All that's so Dragon Ball, bro. And they can fight like that in Dragon Ball because they fly and they're superhuman. Okay, you're trying to convey that superhuman in the ninja world. You got to go about it in a different way, bro. You have to go about it in a different way. Make these guys think faster than any ninja could think. So they're having high speed chess games with super high power, like something like that, bro. That's what they were doing in the Great Ninja War a little bit, albeit it wasn't the most sophisticated chess game that they were playing, but it still had the shonen logic, is what I like to call it, like battle shonen logic, where the characters are thinking like, oh, this counters that, I can't use this move, so I have to find a way to do this, all that sort of thing when they plan the attacks out and play that game of chess with the fights. That was in the Great Ninja War. Like I said, it wasn't as strong as OG Naruto's chess games, but they had the chess games plus the big power, because they were doing big scale ninjutsu. They had to counter it with other big scale ninjutsu, but there was still logic behind it, and then the jutsu itself wasn't just the main thing. Somebody had a plan behind it, or the jutsu was just a distraction or a trick, whatever. But like I said, I'm digressing. If you fuck with the video, leave a like, subscribe. You don't have to, but I would like it. Allergies been killing me, but I'm gonna drop the video anyway, and I'll drop another one this week, probably about One Piece or some other shit. I'm out.